Welcome to the acclaimed podcast, The Deep Dive, featuring your esteemed hosts, Andy Monitor and Drew Dinzik, powered by BetSperts.
Welcome to The Deep Dive. We're going to remain in the AFC South as this is our 8th and final division to touch all the bases. And we're going to move up a rung from Tennessee to the Jacksonville. Not so fast. The Indianapolis Colts. These two have been neck and neck in terms of second or third choice in the AFC South all off season. But now that we know Daniel Jones is the quarterback, and Shane Stiken seems to be in some sort of power struggle with the front office, and that all of these guys may just be looking for work come January. Market's cooled on the Colts. I agree.
Yeah, I've cooled. It's kind of like what we say about Miami when we're talking about them. Like, hey, no good news out of camp again for the 15th consecutive day. It's kind of like that too. The vibes around both Indy and Cleveland as far as their quarterbacking decisions, it's been like, are you being held hostage? Like, why are we doing this? And the Indy one, I guess, makes more sense because it's a self-preservation move. Like, it feels like, fuck it, we're just going to go with the guy who started a bunch and isn't going to maybe screw it up quite as bad. I mean, is Daniel Jones less volatile? Is that a good way to describe him compared to Anthony Richardson? Like, far less upside, but
that's exactly
less
right.
upside, less downside. It's just like, hey, here's taupe. If he were a color, it'd be taupe. Like, this is a safe. This is a very safe color for a hallway in a hospital or an insane asylum because nobody's going to get too upset about this. But nothing exciting is ever going to happen here.
Can't pick teal.
That's Daniel. That's Daniel.
Gotta go
God, can you imagine going with fuchsia?
Yeesh,
Chartreuse. Oh my
really
goodness.
upset the inmates.
Yeah, I mean that's the big story. It's just like it feels like there's a hot seat, and this is the answer to it.
Sometimes the market cools on a team because we don't like what we're seeing. We're getting some data. We're getting some video. We're hearing about teams losing joint practices, and we are like, downgrade. Or maybe in the case of like the Dolphins, they're running out a secondary of all of guys who just learned how to play football. And maybe you're choosing to downgrade them for health and just kind of player availability. The Colts downgrade to me has been much more of like what you're describing, which is the ceiling of this team surprising to the good now feels like that ship has sailed. If you are going to make a bet on the Colts preseason, you're just looking at that big old number. You're like, God damn it, they're in a weak ass division. If Anthony Richardson's talents finally, if the ability to perform the quarterback position finally catches up to the talents that exist with that athlete, then why can't they surprise? Like, this skill group is sick. This offensive line has strengths. The defense is now no longer coordinated by Gus Bradley. So like there were reasons to say like if Anthony Richardson has any Josh Allen in him at all and shows it to us, why can't us? And now we know that is not true and will not be the case. And we have no idea what his future looks like in Indianapolis. And I would love nothing more, Andy. I would love nothing more than to been a fly on the wall when the decision was ultimately made and Stiken and Ballard talked this through, because my gut sense was that when they signed Daniel Jones in the first place, Ballard did it thinking this is the perfect foil so that Anthony Richardson will win the quarterback competition. And Shane Stiken looked at it as, thank God I don't have to start Anthony Richardson this year. I can start Daniel Jones. And I don't know at all that this is true. But when I heard that in the first place, it was like, okay, well, I mean, did they watch the Daniel Jones tape from last year? Like, I mean, the skill sets are,
yeah. Who should we congratulate here? I believe Kwesi for getting
Sure.
a better comp pick out of this. A guy you never planned on playing last year, a guy you never planned on keeping on the roster. But I think you're getting like a 4th round pick out of this now.
Wow. Yow. Amazing.
Especially now that he's starting.
Is that description check out to you? Like, do you think, because like this, like the decision to what happened to Richardson in this preseason of going from could win to now clearly out of the picture, that hurts Ballard. With the people who now own the Colts, like to a degree, Ballard's reputation is on the line with the pick that he made taking Richardson 4th. And now he has to defend why that pick was, ultimately still a good gamble, which is going to be a tough sell. And I kind of feel like he did not think that there was a realistic chance that Jones was going to win this. Is this checking out to you at all?
I didn't think there was a realistic chance. I know people are like, were pumped. Oh, I bet on this. I took an early market on this.
Sure.
Like a lot of people just bet on it because of the injury stuff. Where it's like, oh man, Daniel Jones might just start because Anthony Richardson might not be healthy. Like him winning it outright like this.
Richardson missed minicamp, right? With the shoulder.
Yeah, and then on top of that, we had the finger thing in the first game, which was just like, how do you get hit like that? First off, but it felt like you guys are betting this for the wrong reason, but you got rewarded anyway, and maybe that was good process in the long run. But it's funny, like, I know you want to bet, but are you really excited about this? This isn't exciting. Like, exciting is a quarterback finding himself, and we always mention Josh Allen. There's never going to be somebody that Josh Allen's again, where they're like, this kid stinks.
You don't think it'll ever happen again?
I don't know to that level where it's like, this was a bad
where the accuracy gets fixed, because so much of his stuff. It's like preseason last year. You saw those.
It always felt like you could never fix accuracy.
You saw all those videos though last year,
and he did, and now he won an MVP.
I'm sure. Whereas
this kid, but maybe what we'll have. It's not Josh Allen, but I think we can get more of with the amount of analytics they can do on your throwing motion and just how many coaches are involved in the most important position in all of sports. Is like we can have a Bryce Young, where it's like, oh, this kid sucks. Let's give him a couple days off and then work with them and get his confidence back, and he can play good because he played in the SEC and he was a good quarterback in college. Like, it's the same thing where I don't think Josh Allen is like a reasonable. I mean, it'd be great if you want to go pie in the sky, but certainly a Bryce Young where it's like, yeah, this kid kind of stinks, but let's stick with a little. And the fact that they're not sticking with it bothers me. You're right. You're beholden. It's not Jim anymore. You got this gal who's on the sideline with the headset.
What a look.
This is one of your owners.
If you're listening to the pod and not watching live on YouTube, you're missing a shot. I have not seen that. That is quite a look.
Intimidating.
She looks like she's going to try to steal my Mike McDaniel first coach fired money.
Yeah, I don't like
That's that look I get when I see that picture. This feels like it could be curtains for Stiken somewhat shortly.
That'll be interesting too, because it's like, I wonder when it's a group like that, because it is his 3 daughters. You wonder, like, how do they make decisions? Is it just the sister who's been on that sideline?
The one on the headset probably knows that, right? Yeah.
Or is it like, do we got to come to consensus? Because and geez, don't take this as some misogynistic thing where it's like women can't make up their mind, but like just the fact that there are three people that have to make up their mind. Is there going to be a little bit of waffling and Stiken makes it to the end of the year because they can't quite decide, or are they? I'm dying to see maybe all 3 of them don't like Stiken already.
I want the headset one. What's her name? Carly?
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Is it Carly?
Carly's my favorite.
Carly. I would, if she becomes a main character in the NFL, nothing would delight me more. I mean, Irsay himself was a character. His dad was a character. If she becomes like a real main character, that will be awesome for anyone who just loves the entertainment side of the sport. So I hope that
all 3 are married, but she's the only one that hyphenated. She kept Irsay in her name, so she's the alpha.
I hope that she steps in and is like doing pressers when she fires these guys and is like, I really, really would like her to become a character here. And I will say that the Anthony Richardson thing to me was very straightforward. And I did not think it was 0% chance that he was going to fix his accuracy. I thought there was a decent chance because it all looked like mechanics. It was the way he was setting up his feet. It was the way he was setting up his shoulder girdle. And that sort of thing can be taught. And I'm assuming him and his camp like worked on that all off season, and we never got to see it. So who the hell knows? But like that was kind of what I was, assuming was going to happen. And then now when you hear like two interesting things about this, and then we'll kind of move on here. But Stiken is, I listen to the NFL Daily podcast every day. It is one of the more valuable pieces of information, particularly in the preseason. And Greg Rosenthal somehow had his finger on the pulse that Daniel Jones was going to win this job long before it really became a reality. And so I want to give him huge credit for just sort of seeing this coming. And his take on this was that Stiken was always going to do this. And he set this competition up for Daniel Jones to win because that's the direction he wanted to go. And then when you hear the clips of what he's talked about publicly, and again, like he's a marble mouth, says nothing when he's in front of a microphone. But he couldn't kind of help but give you a bit of a reason why. And the reason was the Richardson just wasn't getting it in the classroom. Like he went out of his way to specifically throw dirt on him from an intelligence standpoint, which did not.
And that checks out with the one. If you remember anything from the preseason, especially anything from the Colts preseason, it's the one play where clearly, the offensive line plays a part in this too. But he has to see that defense and realize he might have somebody who's unaccounted for, and he's got to get the ball out a little quicker. And instead he gets blown up worse than anybody wants. You don't want anybody getting hit that hard in the preseason, especially a quarterback. Busts a finger up, and I mean, it just kind of reinforces the idea that he's not ready to be the starter.
Yeah,
because I'd like to see more. I'd like to see him working on that, and they're not obviously going to go that direction.
Yeah, it's over. Some team out there probably needs a tight end. Might make an offer. We'll see. I don't know that he has a future as a quarterback in the NFL on any other team. I don't think anyone else is going to give him that much rope or tutelage or really kind of patience or reps. Why would you give him reps at this point? You need to give reps to the guys that you might actually need to play on Sunday, and it's not going to be him. So, yeah, I think it's over. And he should go. You remember Matt Jones?
Yeah.
He was like the Razorbacks quarterback back in college, and then was like, you know what? Jacksonville Jaguar, I'm going to be a wide receiver. Like, there's definitely scope for Richardson to use his physical skill set.
Holy shit. Tight end Anthony Richardson.
Yeah. His physical skill set is good enough. Hey, shit, man. If he's a good soldier, I would literally be like, all right, Shane, give me the goal line packages, the tush push packages. I will be a weapon, Cam Newton-esque, down at the goal line, and I will get us the hard yard. And then you can take me out of the game for all the other snaps. It wouldn't be the worst utility for a player that you put this much draft capital into. I'll tell you that much. Nothing about the brew of what's going on in Indy with the coach and the GM and the owner feels long-term at all. And I think this specific deal where Stiken made up his mind and went in the direction of Jones, if that's a correct read, which I have no reason to doubt, is I think the most curious of all, which is that I don't think Ballard brought this guy in thinking he was going to win. So here we are. Good luck, Colts. Last season, ultimately, I bet Colts to do something special and steal the division from the Texans and make the playoffs. All kinds of optimism for this team, because when they came out of their bye week, Andy, they had Denver, Tennessee, New York, and Jacksonville. But it was really that Tennessee, New York, Jacksonville closing trio of games where you're like, those are wins, dubs. Like, here we go. Like, this team can steal the wild card spot from the Steelers. They did not. This was such a good bet too. I'm so mad that this didn't come through to fruition, because the Steelers were They had the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Steelers. They had the head-to-head tiebreaker over the Dolphins. The other teams they were competing with in this mix, they had the tie-breaking wins over. So yeah, it really sucked that they lost that game to the Giants 45 to 33. And ironically, that double hurts you if you're the Colts, Andy. Takes you out of the playoffs, sends Cam Ward to Tennessee. Like, honestly, that's wild how those sliding doors went past each other, and Cam Ward is now in your division instead of who would it have been, you think? Abdul Carter?
Yeah, maybe.
Hunter. Hunter is also in your division, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, he's still in your division.
Yeah, I'm not sure who the Titans would have taken
point.
if the Giants had the first overall. Anyway, yeah, I think
they might have traded back Jackson Dart.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'm not really sure that I have much other commentary about last year other than to say that, like, I am starting to go voted no confidence in Stiken. A lot of what he did last year, I was just kind of uninspired by. They underachieved their Pythag win by about a half a game, and against the spread, they had a lot of wins against the spread early, and then a lot of losses late. So this is not a team that the market upgraded or was rewarded for upgrading after kind of probably upgrading them reasonably between weeks 1 and weeks 8, as they went 2-7 down the stretch in their last 9 games. Not great. 8-8 overall.
Yeah, the Richardson accuracy was never there. The injuries were, it wasn't like last year, but seemed like he was not good at not getting hit hard when it mattered as well. I think that's just kind of something you have. I don't know if you can teach someone to stop doing that shit. I hope they do that with Jaden Daniels, because he takes some harder hits than I'd like as well. But yeah, I don't have a ton to say about this team either. It was, like you said, it was somebody that projected for upside because you had a quarterback that we didn't know a lot about. You had honestly a decent front seven. You had some names on offense, Taylor coming back, and then some younger receivers that are pretty decent. But Anarumo now stepping in, I think this defense could take a step forward. I'm gonna fall for it again to a lesser extent, but I'm willing to watch this team because I think they do have some good players on defense, and maybe Anarumo in a new spot, we can teach an old dog new tricks and get something out of this defense. I'm still not sure what we're going to get out of the Daniel Jones experience here in the Midwest.
Jim Bob Cooter retains his offensive coordinator position. Not sure that's warranted. Not sure what wrinkles he's bringing to the table that are special. Why'd you put the goal in the chat, by the way? Did you have Newcastle to score?
Newcastle scored. Ooh, down a man,
yeah. Did Bruno Guimaraes leap like a fish?
There has been no fish leaping yet so far. Both Liverpool goals were kind of not the guy I wanted. Although I bet Cody Gakpo to score. He has 2 assists. That's kind of
does that count as a score?
That does not. If you had to get two, you had to add 2, and it's like at the fair, 2 medium prizes is large. Doesn't work that way. No, I'd mentioned it on Twitter that I was going to have Flash score roll in during the podcast today.
True to your word.
You hear it in the background.
It was a big chance.
Not much to say. Big chance. Not much to say else about 2024. Very, very predictable first round pick, but it makes sense. Tyler Warren's a stud. What
was the live after Loveland got taken by the Bears? What was the live number on Colts to draft? What's his name?
Tyler Warren. Tyler Warren, tight end.
The live line was -5,000, or it should have been. Because that was telegraphed after Loveland was off the board.
I mean, it's a spot of need too that they've had for a bit. Versatile, reliable. He does everything.
Tight end was on the roster the whole time, Andy. He was just playing different positions.
He was taking the snaps. They drafted an edge rusher out of Ohio State. I'm not sure that was as much of a need as they have some decent players up front, and he's going to get a little buried on the depth chart, but it was someone they liked, so they took him. Later on, they drafted a cornerback from Minnesota that they liked a lot, and he was flashing a little bit. He tore his ACL. He's out for the year. He's not going to play. That was a joint practice injury. They do have some injuries in the secondary too, because Jalen Jones and Juju Brents have had hammies. Nick Cross, the safety, is a hip flexor. There's been some issues back there, and then like you said, they had the rookie, their third round pick is done. Who's Hunter Wohler? Where did he get drafted? He was further down, 7th round linebacker / safety. He's injured, so the depth that they thought they had in the secondary is suddenly not there. The rest of the draft was developmental. As a 4th round offensive tackle, Riley Leonard, if anyone remembers him, quarterback Notre Dame. So some depth guys, and then Daniel Jones, 1 year, $14 million. That's the big signing, right? Although getting Charvarius Ward feels like, I mean, I don't know where you had the secondary rated last year, but they threw money at the secondary and draft capital. Like Bynum, Ballantyne, Ward. It's there's people, there's grown-ups in the room. We might not be horrible, because I had some pretty bad secondary issues last year with this team.
Yes. I thought this was a bad secondary in general. I thought the Ward signing, when it happened, made sense to me. I have not liked any reports that we are hearing about his quality of play so far in the preseason, and worried a little bit that they bought on the decline with Ward.
Bought high, yeah.
They are paying for the decline.
Tops in.
When news broke of the 3rd round rookie tearing his ACL, I was like, all right. And then the news extended to he was expected to start. I was like, what? He was? Oh, that's how bad things are? I was like, uh-oh. So yeah, I think you have to circle the Indianapolis Colts as one of the worst coverage units in the NFL. They are better than the Miami Dolphins, I will say, Andy. And we're going to get a chance to see that play out early in the schedule as those two go head to head.
That young corner. I mean, I don't know that it was so much they're just so bad. He was just impressing.
He was doing well. Okay.
He's a little undersized, but he's like a real hard trier. Fucking Rudy out there.
It's bad news either way.
I mean, it's and it was a combination of Ward had better flex step up because we need him. But the rest of the unit, I mean, it struggled last year, and it's still not a really strong unit. As you mentioned, Jalen Jones is beat up, and then you have Kenny Moore at slot. He's been beat up a little. I think he has a knee ailment too. So not only was it a bad secondary that you try to slap a Band-Aid on with a $60 million player, apparently he's not playing all that well, and everybody else is hurt or out for the season hurt. So might be a bad secondary again. I wanted to give this a good rating just early in the preseason when I was looking at the initial rosters, and that number's only gone one direction since the beginning of camp. And not the good way.
Not up. I gotta tell you, I don't know that I'm gonna have the stomach to make a bet in that Dolphins Colts game, but the idea of how many good skill position players are on the field and how bad those two secondaries is, it's going to be fascinating. If they're that, and it's indoors, God damn it.
You know what's going to happen, and you're going to see Drew with like thin hair. He's going to pull out his locks. It's just going to be like, oh, another wide open. He's beat everybody. He's behind the safety. How did he let this happen? And the ball is 10 yards over his head, and that's
that would have been advantage.
That's going to be 3rd and 18 for the Dolphins.
Yeah. It's going to be a different pull my hair out. It's going to be a different pull my hair out. It's going to be, Josh Downs was Alec Pierce just absolutely just cooked Storm Duck à l'orange and had 10 yards on him, and Daniel Jones dumped it off to Jonathan Taylor. It's going to be Tyreek Hill. He has put Kenny Moore in a blender to air yard, 3 air yards to
H-Chan.
H-Chan. Yeah, it's good. That's what's going to drive me insane about that.
It's going to bring up 3rd and 11.
Yes, exactly. It is. It's going to be something. So yeah, on paper, those are 2 outstanding skill groups.
I know, but it's a fun prop.
Miserable coverages, and it's going to
be a prop game.
Yeah, it's a fun prop game. All right, I'm probably playing over 47. What am I talking about? I like a lot
schedule.
of schedule.
Anything else on the offseason for you?
Just the note that Ward looks like he might be cooked. I actually one other note. A lot of turnover on the offensive line. Continuity. First year in a while, we have no continuity there. Right? Guys on the way out. 2 guys left together to go play in Minnesota. Don't love that.
But the guys who were promoted were on this team last year.
Okay. And they were second.
So I mean, you're right. You're right.
String for a reason.
Yeah, well, because they were rookies.
Okay.
I think they were both drafted.
This was always the plan. Okay.
I don't know that it was like a plan they were excited about, but they did draft Bortolini and that mad guy. What is it? I don't know. Is it Goncalves?
Sure.
Fun? Do we say it fun like that, or I just haven't heard it said that much. And I know he's
Goncalves.
Yeah, your right guard and your center. Goncalves. I'm gonna give it a fun little twist like that. Unless someone tells me otherwise. They were drafted in the 3rd and 4th round last year. Quentin Nelson, the left side of your line is rock solid.
Yeah.
Raymond, Quentin Nelson, very good. And
although isn't Raymond hurt?
Very good too.
He's been dealing with injuries, right? He's fine.
He's playing week 1. That's kind of the update.
Okay.
Right. Yeah, there were some worries, but it sounds like he's going.
You're going to need that left side to stand up to a extremely good pass rush that the Dolphins are bringing to town. God, there's going to be there's going to be like, I can already see it, like strip sack, guy gets tackled at the 1, Tua goes backwards, and then it ends up as a field goal instead of a touchdown. There's going to be a lot of crazy, insane stuff that keeps that over from hitting week 1, I feel like. Anywho, schedule time.
Oh, it's a soft C. Gonsalves.
Oh,
that's
is it?
Even more fun. That's what I think Little Bull is talking about him.
Gonsalves. Okay, C sounds like us. Okay, Gonsalves. I like it. Cold schedule, tougher than the Titans. Tougher in a lot of ways. You got yourself some cold weather outdoor games in the months of November, December. You got yourself an international trip to play the Atlanta Falcons in Berlin, Germany, I believe. Difficult trip for you and your squad. You also have potentially a scheduled loss against the Niners. At least that one's home.
You're correct. It is going to be in Berlin.
Stadio Olimpico?
Sure.
I don't know if that's true or not. All right. But yeah, I mean, it's a weird schedule where you are not favored by much very often at all. And you are healthy dogs 3 times. Dogs outside of
it's called Olympic Stadium.
Oh, it is it? Oh, okay. I don't know why it would be called. I don't know why it would be Stadio.
Yeah, you were for some reason you were doing it with like they wouldn't
the Gonsalves got me going into a different language, a different language tree.
You went to the Romance languages.
That's right. Big dogs versus the Rams, Chargers, and Chiefs. All of those make sense. Decent sized dogs against Denver. Agreed. Decent sized dog against Pittsburgh. Nah, not so much. Decent sized dog against Seattle and Houston. We'll see. But yeah, I mean, there's a decent amount of expected losing on this schedule. I guess the big question is like, where is the best time to insert Riley Leonard and see what you got?
I don't think that's a thing. Like, you might have to play. Yeah, you never know. But boy, that's not a thing.
Yeah,
that's a late round flyer where, hey, here's a kid who can hold a clipboard.
The secret team total over week 4 for the Rams is great. I'm gonna write a note to remind myself that. I like that one. I can't wait till I haven't even thought about what our secret pod.
It's
team
funny how
total's gonna
Tennessee and
for week
Indy
1.
have 3 of the same opponents to start the season in their first 4 weeks if you count each other. Like
Yeah,
they both
you're
play
right.
Denver, they both play the Rams, and then they play each other. Similar,
crazy.
except you do get the Miami game. I mean, you're probably right. That's I think that's one for sure that you take some alt-overs. If it truly turns into Tua's healthy, he's not hurt yet, and Daniel Jones is not completely devoid of talent. He can play okay. Like that game could get into like the 60s. It could be just a mess.
Yes, this is
Interim coach Carly or Spain
This is the main character energy I'm talking about.
Oh my god, if she named herself
this is the main character energy I want. Fire Stiken.
No.
Interim has been appointed. It's me. Yes, please. First female coach in NFL history. Making
history by myself.
Yeah.
Trailblazers.
Yeah. She's got next.
It's like the Horrible Bosses where Kevin Spacey's just like, and he thinks he's getting the promotion. I've appointed myself. I'm only going to take half the salary or whatever.
All right. I don't have much else to say about the schedule other than I think where I am with this Colts team and how cold I am on them relative to market is going to make it interesting when we get to situations where they're up against a bona fide, right? When they're up against a team that we think is like actually for real, there aren't a lot of them here, like laying the points, like with the Chargers, for instance, right? Like a team that's well coached, that's well prepared, and relatively complete against this Colts team. If I'm getting under a touchdown, let's go. Happy to do it. Daniel Jones is not inspiring much in terms of like his ability to get in a back door, right? Like if it's going bad in a game for these guys, Daniel Jones, I don't think is saving the day if you are taking the points. Does that check out to you at all, or am I overstating this?
I mean, if this offensive line plays well, maybe less so because, I feel like if he just sticks to being a pocket passer and he has some good wide receivers. This is not a bad wide receiver room. Maybe, but I don't know that I've seen it out of him where it's like, hey, he's processing everything great and he's really making some smart adjustments over here. It's like it's still Daniel Jones.
I'm pretty sure he is going to run a very vanilla offense for these guys. And it is going to be not risk-takey. That was the other fucking wild thing. And I'm sure the fantasy guys can cover this better than we ever could. But like the decision between Jones and Richardson had humongous swing on the likely target share for that group of good guys, right? Like Pierce, in a Richardson offense, like that guy's valuable. Pearson and Daniel Jones offense, grab a clipboard. Like, I just don't think he's going to be an impactful player on any given Sunday. Jonathan Taylor in an RPO offense with Richardson, much more productive potentially. Tyler Warren now gets way more targets with Daniel Jones trying.
I was going to say Warren and maybe Josh Downs in the slot. And
yeah,
you're going to
Downs
get
in the slot.
maybe adjust your target share to them.
Pittman becomes the more targeted guy. Yeah, it's a big change is just what this is going to look like with the decision there. And ultimately I'm not seeing upside in a comeback mode with the conservative style of play we're going to get from Jones. I don't think so. Colts are a team that I don't mind laying against. And when they're up against teams that have good skill groups going against them, I think those teams are going to score points. Examples of teams with good skill groups going against them include the Miami Dolphins week 1. It includes the Rams week 4. It includes Atlanta week 10, KC week 12. It includes Jacksonville week 14, and who the heck knows?
San Francisco should have some wide receivers by then.
Maybe. We'll see.
They just don't right now.
That is worth following. I think San Francisco is going to be a much better team week 16 than they're going to be week 1, personally. So yeah, that's about all I got for schedule. You good?
Yeah, again, we are brought to you by Circa Survivor and Circa Millions, the best contests, the most money. go to the desert, sign up in Nevada, play from anywhere. There's a picture of us on Instagram signing up with our best friend Tony from the practice service we use. Check it
Football
out
contest
if you like
proxy,
looking
right?
at pictures of me on Instagram and my huge calves. They're in the foreground and they look about the size of Drew.
Yeah. That's a great
Survivor
call,
for
by the
this
way,
team?
to mention our proxy, because Vegas Matty and his group do a very good job of taking care of us. It was extremely easy and convenient to sign up through them. You have to sign up through your proxy if you're going to play from anywhere. If you're going to play from Vegas, you can just do it yourself.
Like, I don't want to say like all the other proxies are horrible. I'm sure everyone does a good job, but we use Vegas Matty and Tony at footballcontest.com. If I had to promote one, and not paid to promote this, but that's who we use. And
the first time I did a contest, I did not book it. It was Preston Johnson of Sports Sheet of Fame in 2011, and we used Vegas Matty then, and I have used him every year since as our go-to proxy. Not ever once mistaken a pick, which is
my
incredible.
oh my god, I'd be so mad if someone did.
It's for real.
There is my Twitter handle and my IG handle are the same. So if you look at this last post, I don't do Instagram, so it's like they've asked to collaborate on a post with you. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
What does that mean?
I think so. We both posted the same thing to our story.
Oh, okay.
So they have a on Instagram in the comments or in the words underneath the picture. The caption. There's even a promo code if you want to use them for a little bit of money off their proxy service. So check it out. I'm not using this team for Survivor.
I do not know what a standard fee is for a proxy, but maybe more importantly, Andy, what's the standard tip when you win?
We
got to figure this out.
Nobody had a good answer.
Not the guys that have won didn't have good answers for us somehow.
I know.
Oh, yikes.
I had a number and somebody thought I was nuts. I'm like,
yeah,
it's like when you're winning, when you're playing blackjack and you're crushing. It's like I've tipped dealers hundreds of dollars at once.
Sure.
It's like I just won a massive hand.
Yeah.
But then when you're losing, you can't even like give me change for this $5 for the cocktail waitress. I'm only giving her $2. It depends how it's going. Like I don't know if a water's worth $5. Like it's crazy how the mood you're in. So if you just won 20 million, I think that the tip is big because you just got to do it right away.
I have no other thoughts about Indianapolis and relative
not
to
using
Survivor. And the reason that I have no other thoughts is because there is no spot to use them. Indianapolis will be on the cutting room floor for me this year. There are many a better choice to make on the 1 week where they're favored by more than a field goal, which is week 8. I like 6 sides better that week 8, compared to the Colts, using the Colts there. So not a lot of value for these guys as survivors. Let's rate them and let's wrap this.
Let's rate this team. This is a tricky team to rate too, although like I said, the secondary number just kept going down, despite a really good player in the secondary. Obviously, Houston has the best players in their secondary, but like Shavarius Ward's right up there with one of the best corners in the whole division, and it's still a very minus unit right now.
Yes.
Weak link system, baby.
Yes. Quarterback for me went slightly up with Daniel Jones, but it's such a different type of offense that I think overall the ceiling is lower. Indianapolis quarterback OC combo for me is 2.2. And again, I'll mention I did not think Bob Cooter did enough to warrant getting another run at this. And if your quarterback OC, if your head coach OC, who's an offensive guy, and your OC can't develop, your 4th overall pick in the draft, like, what are they doing here?
Yeah. I mean, Stiken calls the plays. I guess how you feel about him and Cooter as a unit. It's not that these guys that don't call plays, but they're called the offensive coordinator, they still have a huge hand in the game planning and the sequencing and things like that. So I don't know that Cooter is like super additive to that unit. And it's hard to evaluate Stiken, I guess, considering the quarterbacks he's had, and maybe even some of the offensive line matters a lot. So I'm at a 2.7. I give him a little more credit, but yeah,
Two
Daniel
notes
Jones
for
his
this.
ceiling is low.
2 notes for this. There is a world where this gets upgraded meaningfully because Daniel Jones, our perception of him is blurred by how poor last year went. And last year was a year coming off of a pretty meaningful injury. And there is a world where you get a better version of Daniel Jones in this system, in this offense, indoors, and we are a little bit caught by surprise. Will you agree? Would you agree with that?
Yeah. No, but again, the ceiling on that is, I mean, not high. It's just like, it's not awful.
Oh yeah, no.
Which truthfully is the worst case scenario
it's
for
the
this
worst
team.
case scenario, yeah.
Where it's like, oh, good, you won 7 or 8 games and missed the playoffs, and now you draft in the middle of the draft. And Daniel Jones is on a 1-year deal. You had to decide, now he had a good enough year. Where are you going to pay him $20 million next year to come and win 8 games?
That's never gone
somewhere
wrong.
else. Like, yeah.
No, I completely agree with that, and I think ultimately
I don't hate 1 year $14 million for this guy.
Is like 4.5-ish. We could get to midseason, like whiffed, should have been like a 4.5. I don't think there's a world we get to midseason. I'm like, God, is Daniel Jones a 6? No, I don't think that's really in the scope, in the range of outcomes. The other note I had was about Jim Bob Cooter. A little flashback, Andy. Do you remember the first time Jim Bob Cooter came up on this podcast? It was year 1.
He wasn't with the Lions yet.
He was. This was the infamous.
Was it Lions?
This was the infamous deleted pod. This is the infamous deleted pod where I forgot to record it, and you made the ridiculously funny joke about trying out the Cooter before you buy it when we were talking about the Lions firing their coach and elevating Jim Bob Cooter to head coach to see if he
was interim.
Yeah, to see if he. Well, no, he not. We were speculating that he might get that opportunity because at the time he was a buzzy OC.
He was a buzzy name.
He was a buzzy OC.
We've had some. I'd love to go back and find all the spots where you're like, oh, this guy's kind of a buzzy name, because all of them fucking suck. Like we were like Nathaniel Hackett, head coach, right? Although to be fair, I was a big Canales guy and a big Liam Cohen guy. Oh, so I like those guys.
Spoiler alert for tomorrow.
For every Liam Cohen, there is a Jim Bob Cooter or Nate Hackett.
Yeah, no, that does take me back down memory lane because we were previewing teams, we were previewing the Lions, we were talking about them firing their coach and putting Cooter installing Cooter, and you made a hilariously timed joke about that, and I deleted the podcast by accident. We had to re-record. Wasn't as funny the second time.
No,
but yeah, that was year 1 of the deep dive.
Spontaneity.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I knew it was coming too, so you could tell my laugh was practice.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
it wasn't genuine.
Oh man, we've made this joke.
Skill group for the Colts is like put this skill group on another team with a better quarterback and a more inspiring offensive vision, and god damn it, are they cooking. This is a great skill group. Probably one of the least heralded great skill groups in football. Am I crazy?
No, and I mean AD Mitchell's he's on the second unit. Like he's somebody we don't know a lot about yet as far as can this guy be something in the league? I mean, he's second year.
Can you imagine what Kyle Shanahan would do for 4 wide receivers right now?
Yeah.
Can you?
Pittman's a very legit wide receiver 1. Downs very good in the slot. Tyler Warren better be good. I mean, he did it all in college. He better be doing it here.
He's done it all in the
Taylor
so far.
The depth at running back isn't as good. They brought in Khalil Herbert, who that's not exciting to me at all. But yeah, I made this a 6. There's a little lack of depth at running back, and then your second tight end's like Mo Alley Cox, who he's a little long in the tooth, ain't he?
Sure. Depth. I'm not worried about depth at all. There's too many mouths to feed in this offense, man.
You need 2 tight ends though. I think you still need 2 good tight ends at times.
Okay. I'm at a 7 here, and I actually came down from 7.5 largely because I feel like some of the pieces now don't matter as much, right? Like the target share going down for Alex Pierce makes the targets less expiring.
Liverpool.
So are they going to draw against a team?
They got a chance. I mean, I had over 3, so we need the fourth. The fourth goal is important here. So
And Liverpool continues to botch big chances.
No defense in the squad. Maybe I'm a little low. Yeah, Pittman's great. Pearson's the 3 wide receivers are very good. Taylor is a really big name and somebody we associate with. This guy was like offensive player of the year kind of for years. He was in that conversation. He's not as good anymore. Like, I don't love this running back room at all. Just as a rule. That's my downgrade there. And the fact that if Warren goes out and plays well for the first couple weeks, I'll upgrade this too. But we've seen very heralded tight ends not do shit because the offensive coach doesn't know to get him the ball enough, or he just doesn't fit into the offense quite right. And 4 years later, we're wondering what happened to Kyle Pitts. It doesn't just always click, especially when you have a wide receiver room like this. So I'm a little lower, but I'm willing to say this is a very high ceiling unit.
Okay. I'm just looking at the numbers for Taylor and getting a little bit better every year since his injury, and thinking that he's back to close to what he was at his peak, but who knows? A lot of what he was good at last year, though, was the RPO stuff with Richardson, which was so electric.
It's that, and it's crazy. It feels like he's 30. He's like 26.
Yeah,
just feels like he's old, but the big injuries are always a bummer.
Yeah, offensive line for me is a 6 right now, and I feel like that's giving a lot of credit to 3 guys, or really just the 2 guys on the left who I have a high confidence in.
Yeah, that's like your best left combo. I mean, some of the other lines that are really rated highly have very nice combos on one side or the other, but Nelson, Raymond, very good. Bordolini, Gonsalves stepping in. We'll find out. Smith at the right tackle's above average as well. I went 5.8. This is one that can move either way, and it's pretty much going to be based on the center and right guard and how they look.
Okay, this is my 23rd best defense.
That's an offense.
I'm sorry, best offense. My bad. I was already looking at my defensive numbers just to see what I was going to say.
22 for me.
22 for you. Okay.
Run stop.
Pretty good. They had the leading tackler in the NFL last year in Zaire Franklin. He returns to anchor that middle of the defense.
Can he play 1,000 snaps again?
Can he play 1,000 snaps again? Is a very fair question. I don't know 100% that Lou Anarumo has the answers to stop the run in the NFL anymore, based on what we saw to wind down his Bengals tenure. But I don't know. Maybe this safety group is better, and he could do something more compelling.
Can't blame him.
But I'm a 5.4 for run stop. Where are you?
5. You're a little low, I think. I'm a 5.5.
Okay.
It's similar. There's some good pieces. I'd like more out of the safeties and the other linebackers, but up front, everyone has good ratings, and overall, it was an above average unit last year, stopping the run.
Okay. Pass rush was really difficult for me because I have trouble figuring out who to get excited about this group. A lot of people are buzzing about Latu, and I'm like, all right, I didn't really see it. And maybe in year 2, he takes a big old step forward, or people were a little bit high on him evaluation wise and are just hopeful. I don't know. But,
I mean, there's one name we should be terribly excited
Buckner.
about. Top 5 guy, top 10 pass rusher. And it takes a village though. And you need something out of Latu. Latu had a decent year. Second year, but you need him to take another step forward for this to be a good pass rush.
To the degree you're concerned about injuries and age and all that for Jonathan Taylor, I would consider me concerned about
it's only year 9.
Buckner. I know.
No, I mean he will, for him not to have fallen off a cliff yet at his age. It's impressive. This will be year 9.
He ultimately
played 600 damn snaps last year and he was good.
Was he? He only started 11 games. I guess that's why my number for him was a little bit lower than I was expecting.
Wasn't he out to start the season?
Yeah. He came back and he didn't quite hit the same. He didn't quite hit the same run rate as far as impactful plays as he did when he was age 29. So I worry a little bit of this age 31 season. We start to see some of the cracks.
Yeah.
Very
I
fascinating.
I still have the pass rush below average. I have 4.5.
Did you know he went to Punahou High School in Hawaii? I didn't know he was Hawaiian. Born in Hawaii. Wow.
I know. I was with.
Did you know DeForest Buckner was born in Hawaii?
I was with Matoy, and he kept talking about like this guy and that guy. He's poly, and he means Polynesian. And I'm like,
yeah,
that means something different now.
It means he went to Long Beach Poly.
Yeah, well, that too. But no, a lot of guys were from Hawaii.
No, Deshaun Jackson went to Poly. Did you know that? Snoop Dogg, Poly. Cameron Diaz, Poly. Anyway, my pass rush rate. Sorry, man. 3.4 for me.
Oh man, I still got my Buckner bump. So 4.5.
You're gonna be higher than market on these guys.
No, coverage is a 2.2.
I am lower.
Really? Everybody's hurt. I couldn't make it lower. I couldn't make it lower than that with Ward in there.
I am 2.1, Andy. Much lower than you there.
I still have the 27th ranked defense.
They are my 27th ranked defense. Yeah. All right. You're for sure going to be higher than market on these guys based on the numbers you said.
Coaching intangibles, average to below average. We're going to make it a 3.8. Special teams is a 5 for me here. It's fine. Or actually, no, let me see. Yeah, no, it was Tennessee that was abhorrent. Indy's in the middle. So my final rating on the Indianapolis Colts is a negative 2.26. And that puts them at 7.2 projected wins. My God, we have 11 minutes of stoppage time here. We're gonna get. I might live bet a 5th goal. Let's go. Let's get weird on it. So where are you at? I was at 2.26 to the negative.
I'm negative 3.14.
Is it just? What was your QB number again?
2.2.
A little higher there, and a little higher in a few other spots. Not a big difference, though.
Market rating for these guys is -3, so I'm just a little bit lower than market. You're a decent amount above market on the Colts. Did you expect that? Did you know that?
I think I was higher in a few spots on defense and quarterback, but I don't know. It's such a weird problem because I rated the skill position group lower than you, but part of my calculus is just like Daniel Jones has a lot of guys to throw to.
Yeah. I mean, this is a spoiler alert, and I'm sorry because we're going to talk about the Jaguars tomorrow. But like, you know how we were talking and bantering about how close the ratings are between, or how close the market is between the Jags and the Colts to win the South. My power number for them, you have to go out to the 4th decimal for separation. Sorry, 3rd decimal. So fourth significant digit. Kind of wild. Anyway,
what if it's a 0? If that decimal is a 0, is it a significant digit by definition? It's not.
Really?
Even when you're using it in comparative, if it's a 0, it doesn't matter.
Huh.
I don't know. I don't know. It's been a long time since I took math.
It has been. They change the rules all the time too. So what we learned might not even be the reality anymore. It's a constantly evolving discipline, as you know. The AFC South price right now for the Colts is plus 340. Titans 8-1. Jaguars plus 323. Texans minus 111. I'm not betting the Colts at plus 340. I probably won't bet them if they drift aggressively. I think this team has more downside tail where this is literally everybody's getting fired and Carly's taking up the headset without any sass from no one.
I want her to be coached so bad now.
And then this becomes a very interesting show of who ultimately gets the quarterback play at the end of the year. This could be real
we need
fun.
to bring in a guest. And for Halloween, we will be the Ursay daughters.
Right.
Dibs also on Carly.
Okay, I don't know the other two, so I don't know what I'm
Get to
getting
know
myself
them.
into here.
Get to know them, guys.
Okie doke. The yeah, I don't
That
have
might
any.
be the worst division price I've ever heard. Yeah.
It's a bad one. All right, the Colts regular season wins. Is there a funk around this team that makes you want to tap them as an alt under? In spite of the fact that you are over market on these guys, like how many? We didn't even say it. How many wins are you? How many wins are you projecting?
7.2.
7.2.
Yep.
Okay, that seems high. I am at 6.7. Okay. Their win total right now is 7.5, minus 117 to the over, plus 101 to the under. So you can get plus money. That 7 is the right number. Under 6.5 is plus 185, Andy. Is this a 5-win team?
The schedule's just not that tough. It's tough enough, but it's not like some meat grinder where
5 or
and
6
truthfully,
win
like
team.
and what's the big downside to a team? Your quarterback gets hurt. If your quarterback gets hurt, it's like a lateral move. You have 2 QB2s. It's not like it might actually be a boon because it becomes a pain for the other teams. Like, we gotta, with all the scouting we've been doing for this team all years, throw it in the trash. It's a different offense now. So I don't love them as a bet any which way but lose. I'd like to forget this team existed. Why don't we need to relegate this team to a flyover city in the middle of nowhere, USA, and forget about them. Where half the battle's there. I love Indianapolis. I kid. Great town. No bet for me. No
Okay.
mas.
I got nothing on these guys either.
Oh,
That sounds right.
Here we
That
go.
sounds
Here we
like
go.
correct. That sounds like. Did you get your 5th goal?
Well, we got big chance. We don't know if it's. I'm not watching the match. Big chance is happening. You never know with the big chance. Sometimes they take it away from you. Smiling faces. There he is.
That must have been a goal.
That means must have been a goal. It must have been love, but it's over now. Dave Connolly. 90 plus 11 goal. I'm going to have to watch a replay of that one. That one made me a little money. I bet this match 6 times. At the 20-minute mark, over half a goal for the first half. We took more 2.5 at halftime. And the Gakpo, any goal scorers didn't get there. But the props are small bets.